Well, it's time to turn our attention to the Scorpions, and more specifically, the most commercially successful album ever. Scorpions are one of those bands that if you confess to liking, it usually has the musicos in the room pinching their nose as if they've just been introduced to a rather noisome fart. And granted, sometimes I listen to the Scorpions and especially their lyrics, which are kind of clumsy, to say the least, and feel that I'm just listening to a huge slab of European cheese, heavily spandexed European cheese at that. They do come across as a little bit Spinal Tap at times, with some very questionable album covers, and we can of course forgive them for the old Bubblicious Tit Love Drive album cover. It was the 70s, wasn't it? But Virgin Killer, really? I mean, is it ever okay to put a naked 10-year-old girl on an album cover? And not even in a kind of blind faith, bucolic, free-spirited hippie shit going on there, but more in a sexually themed, predatory, deeply unpleasant manner. One straight from the Gary Glitter songbook there, I think. Nevertheless, it might be a bit kitsch, a bit of a heavy metal cliche, in fact, but I have to confess to actually loving this band. And I saw them in 1985, and what a time to see this band when they were, I think, at their physical musical peak. And let's not forget Worldwide Live. It's widely praised as an excellent live album, capturing the energy and performance of the Scorpions at the height of their popularity. Reviewers highlight its tight musicianship, great connection with the audience, and a strong song selection, making it a quintessential 80s hard rock experience. The album is considered a must-have for Scorpions fans and a strong example of the band's live prowess. And no better represented than this wonderful album. Snub I've been playing the bollocks off in the gym because it's just such an infectious record. Like a nasty rash, really. You just have to listen to the whole thing from beginning to end. There's not a duff track on it as far as I'm concerned. Although Blackout is the album, it tends to be considered critically acclaimed. Although I don't think you tend to use the term critically acclaimed with the Scorpions any more than you would with Kiss or Status Quo. Other bands that have the musicos pinching their nose and beating a hasty retreat. Love at First Sting, of course, is considered to be a classic album from the Scorpions, known for its blend of hard rock anthems and emotional ballads. It's praised for its catchy hooks and energetic guitar work and strong vocals. Intriguingly, this was one of the first albums to be recorded using digital technology. And while on the technological cutting edge, it may well have been, but it did garner some criticism from long-term fans who felt the sound was too polished and metallic. It certainly achieved a lot of recognition with 1982's Blackout, not even so much as a hint of any prepubescent anywhere. Nevertheless, being a brilliant album, it still comes across as a little bit clumsy and clunky in some places. But Love at First Sting takes everything to another level. It's such a sleek album. Of course, it sports that huge hit, Rock You Like a Hurricane, which was originally going to be titled Rock You Like a Hurricane, but the record company said, no, can't do that. It's okay to have 10-year-old girls on your album covers, but we mustn't use expletives. Nevertheless, a song title like F*** You Like a Hurricane, or even Wasp's Animal F*** Like a Beast. I mean, a lot of controversy at the time, primarily because of the language, I think. Whereas these days, I mean, that's just nothing, is it? Especially look at the more urban expressions, urban musical expressions, shall we say. But this album opens with Bad Boys Running Wild, which is probably one of my favourite songs on this album. The beautiful guitar pyrotechnics at the start, incredible player. Is it Matthias Jabs? Is it Matthias Jabs that's the guitar player? Absolutely incredible. I could be wrong there, but brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And we get the kind of on-the-road band anthem, which is Big City Nights. I mean, excellent number. And my favourite, absolute favourite on this album is Coming Home. But of course it's Rock You Like a Hurricane that everybody knows. That's the famous one, isn't it? No whistling in that one as well. No whistling. Lyrics like, the bitch is hungry, she needs to tell, so give her inches and feed her well. Maybe Klaus is singing about his pet pooch here. Who knows? But it works and works beautifully. This whole album is an exercise in slickness, one for the MTV generation. I would argue that this is their best album. I know that's perhaps a controversial thing to say, given some of the wonderful stuff they did with Uli John Roth way back in the 70s. Great stuff, great albums, of course. Even Virgin Killer is an album I really like in terms of its music. But this, I think, is such an accomplished album, such a fantastic sounding album, and every song is anthemic. And that wonderful, wonderful cover that was problematic in some countries. I think they had to change the album cover, which is a shame because it's such a beautiful piece of artwork. The artist was Helmut Newton. Helmut Newton, I shit you not. Apparently the band actually wanted Andy Warhol to do a cover for them, but Andy Warhol wanted to maintain or retain the rights to the artwork, which means the band wouldn't make anything on t-shirts and things like that. The original cover art was created by Kochlowski, which is a German graphic design company, and features a Photoshop by renowned German photographer Helmut Newton. Despite the record company having shown the original cover art to retailers without any concerns, a complaint by Walmart in the US was filed after the album was released, which resulted in Polygram reissuing a clean version for use in several department stores. But yeah, I mean, to come back to Bad Boys Running Wild, I think that was the band's kind of homage to The Boys Are Back in Town, the Thin Lizzy number. Even the ballad Still Loving You was a song that I think Rudolf Schenker had in the can for quite a while. He kept suggesting to the band, but they just weren't impressed. Eventually it makes it onto this album. It's done beautifully as well. It's some of the slow ones provide an interesting bridge or contrast between that and the heavier numbers on this album. And you remember the video to Rock You Like a Hurricane with the band emerging from these glass pods? Very Spinal Tap indeed. With these girls in various states of undress and feral in this makeup clawing at them like wild animals. Oh dear, oh dear. It was actually directed by David Mallet, who was kind of A-list director, who wrote Queen, David Bowie and Blondie and such artists as that. But it was the song and the video that hit hard, I think, on the burgeoning MTV generation. But nevertheless, this is the band at their peak. It's an album that spawned quite a few top 10 singles for them. I think it's their best album. I know many of you will take issue with that, but it's the album that I listen to all the time at the gym, because I find it just makes the time flow quite quickly, and I don't notice that I've been on the old Stairmaster for 20 minutes when I listen to this record. Anyway, what do you think? Scorpions' Love at First Sting, 1984 I think it came out. I think it's the best Scorpions album ever. Tell me if you think I'm wrong in the comments below and why you think I'm wrong. I'd love to hear from you. Anyway, I'll leave it there. If you're new to this channel, please do click like, subscribe and check that notification bell. You know, share this video if you think somebody might be interested in it. And check some of the links below this video for you can... I'll try that again. Check some of the links below this video for ways you can support the sterling work done at Classic Album Review. It's all good stuff. Anyway, I'll leave it there and leave you with my closing salvo, which is hope you're well, staying safe, and of course that you keep listening.